out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died.
They say the prisoner of Spandau was a symbol of defeat. Whilst Hess remained in prison, then the fascists they would beat.
So the promise of an Aryan world would never materialize. So why did they all come out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died? The world is riddled with maggots. The maggots are getting fat. They're making a tasty meal of all the bosses and bureaucrats. They're taking over the boardrooms and they're fat and full of pride. And they all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. So if you meet with these historians, I'll tell you what to say. Tell them that the Nazis never really went away. They're out there burning houses down and peddling racist lies. And we'll never rest again until every Nazi dies.
Woke up one morning and there were soldiers. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Woke up one morning and there were soldiers. The invasion had begun. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. But I feel my time has come, and if I die here for the resistance, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. And if I die here for the resistance, you must lay me in my grave among the flowers upon the mountain. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Among the flowers upon the mountain, let me rest among the brave. Someday the people will pick the flowers. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Someday the people will pick the flowers, and they will remember my name. This is the flower of the resistance. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. This is the flower of the resistance, and those who died for liberty. This is the flower of the resistance. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. This is the flower of the resistance, and those who died for liberty. This is the flower of our resistance, and those who died for liberty.
Come all of you good workers, good news to you I'll tell, of how the good old Union has come in here to dwell.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
My daddy was a miner and I'm a miner's son, and I'll stick with the Union till every battle's won.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
They say in Harlan County there are no neutrals there. You'll either be a Union man or a thug for J.H. Blair.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Oh, workers, can you stand it? Oh, tell me how you can. Will you be a lousy scab or will you be a man?
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Don't scab for the bosses, don't listen to their lies. Us poor folks haven't got a chance unless we organize.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Street where the lion runs do beat, and the lovely English people walked all over us. And every single night when they would come home tight, he'd invite the neighbours out with this chorus. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lace of Gilshandra. Tell us how you slew them old Arabs 2 by 2. Like the Zulus, they had knives, bows and arrows. But how bravely you faced one with your 16-pounder gun, and you frightened all the natives to the marrow. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lace of Gilshandra. Let us hear you tell how you stand the brave Parnell and taught them well and truly persecuted. Where are the stares and jeers that you proudly let us hear when our heroes of 16 were executed? Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lace of Gilshandra. Come out and fight without your guns. Show your wife how you won medals up in Derry. You murdered 16 men and you'll do the same again. So get out of here and take your bloody army. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lace of Gilshandra. Oh, come out, you black and tans.
Hello there, hello there, hello there everybody, how the devil are you all? I am Sweaty Spaghetti, I thank you for asking. There is no Kev on camera tonight because it is too hot. The window is open, the lights are off, my tits are out. I'm not on camera this evening. Anyhow, how are we all? Are we good? I do hope so. What a day it's been. What a sweaty day it's been. What have we been up to? Everybody? Kevy's on camera, he's right. Well, no, that's the Kevy Barra. That's a different thing. Yes. To the person who said, as a librarian, the title of this intrigues me. You will be disappointed. This has nothing to do with libraries. That is a line from a song. Or half a line from a song. I don't know, whatever. You get the point. Kev, this heart is reserved for the paywalls of OnlyFans. True. Truthness. Although, of course, I will never be doing OnlyFans anyway, because who the fuck... I've struggled giving it away. I'm not. The people aren't paying for it, let's be honest. Yes. Anyway. We've got some serious stuff. Isn't that from a Manic song? It is the opening line of a song called "A Design for Life," and I still think that's the greatest opening line to a #1 song ever. Genuinely, amazing. Anyway, yeah, we're dealing with racism, basically from the get-go and throughout. Albeit in the second half, it'll be slop-based racism. The first half of the show will be more serious politics racism, with some football mixed in, naturally, and then the second half will be slop racism. So, just saying. I can now say that proudly as a Brummie. Say what as a Brummie? What are you saying as a Brummie? I don't know, but whatever it is, hello. How are we all? Isn't all racism slop? Well, it depends on the form it comes. Slop for me is like not serious, if that makes sense. Slop is risible. There's a difference for me between a serious way of doing something and a slop way of doing it. Serious is like neo-Nazi shit. That would be like serious, nasty, horrible racism. Whereas like the kind of culture war, wink wink, nudge nudge racism is slop. It's stupid. In some respects it's quite funny, albeit entirely unintentional, of course. Yeah, so there's that. Well, and there's the amount of effort put into it. Although to be fair, a lot of the serious racism is pretty low effort as well, in all honesty. But, you know, it is what it is. We'll get to it. Yes, and if you'll allow me, there's a moment of self-indulgence about football as well. But you know, the Kev will Kev in his most Kev fashion. Right, let's do some shilling, shall we? Yes, you can hit the follow button if you're on Twitch. You can subscribe. You can subscribe with Amazon Prime. You can give subs to the community. You can do bits messages, all of that shit. You can do super chats for the Streamlabs link below. I've got Patreon and or PayPal. I've got a Discord you can go and check out. I've got YouTube, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok and Threads, which I almost never use, other than to post like, you know, I'm streaming in 30 minutes or top of the hour or whatever. But whatever, you can go and follow me on those things. Yes, if you're on YouTube, hell the fuck to the O, to the YouTuberino. You can subscribe for nout. You can thumb the video up. You can, what else can you do? Hit the bell icon to get notifications of when I go live or some shit. You can do super chats. You can become a member for 99 pence. You can gift things. You can do super thanks and super stickers. I don't know what any of those things are, but you can do them if you know what they are and how to do them. Do not ask me. I do not know. Anyway. So, yes. Football-related chicanery. Firstly, well done Celtic on completing the domestic double this season of the League and Scottish Cup. Delicious activity. A strange, compelling, not entirely convincing season, but ultimately one that ends well. And so, that's positive. Well done to Hull City for beating Middlesbrough in the playoff final. Look forward to you getting relegated next year because financially it's very difficult for any teams to compete who go up.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Yeah. So we'll see about that. Yes. Where are we? Thank you, Andrina, for gifting a sub. No, membership. What am I talking about? Thank you to Mr. Peter Wood, for resubscribing for 19 months. You crazy bitch. I love you. Thank you, User Nameless Entity, for a 40 stream streak. You're still doing that thing. Don't know why Twitch is telling me. It's very useless information in many respects. But it does clog up the activity feed, so thank you. Thank you, Dr. Phil Deku says, communism token, fuck Jorg Buzznuts, or whatever his face is. Fuck Jorg Buzznuts. I don't know who that is. Who are you referring to with Jorg Buzznuts? Jorg Buzznuts. Can anyone translate that for me? Because I am genuinely lost on existence, frankly. Oh, Jeff Bezos. Oh, okay. Well, that's not... That really doesn't... Yeah, that's not close enough. I don't think that's close enough for me to get that. But yes, fuck Jorg Buzznuts. 100%. Earlier today, Bad Empanada debated FD signifier, but there were probably too many N-word drops for you to react to it. Well, as long as it was only the black person in that conversation saying the N-word, I think it's fine. 255. So if you've got a link and a timestamp, I'm more than happy to take a cheeky gander. Anyway, let's not let us not dwell on such things. Right. I'm going to talk about football for a second. Okay? I am going to talk about football for just a brief moment. If you're not into football / soccer, if you're American or Canadian or Australian or various other places where they call it soccer. Anyway, if you're not into that sport, specifically if you're not into English football, you won't understand what I'm talking about. And that's fine. But if you'll allow me a couple of moments to just opine forth on a matter, we'll get to the actual politics of it thereafter. But you will have to allow me a moment. Okay? So, the World Cup is upcoming. Good luck to all of the teams taking part. Some teams more than others, let's be honest. But, you know, the French are allowed to exist at this point in time, so we have to allow them to play football as well. And the Germans just called up Manuel Neuer, a 40-year-old who had previously retired, so it's going super well over there. Anyway, the England team will also be taking part in this tournament. The squad for that tournament has been announced. It is, as you see on the screen here. 3 goalkeepers, is that allowed? This is not the lineup for the tournament. This is the squad of players from which they can choose a team. So there will still only be allowed 11 players per game, right? At any one time during the game, but they will be selected from this group of 26 players. You see? It's a subset thing. Okay? This is the group of players. And it's been, to put it mildly, a little controversial. There have been some very good players who have been left out, and some surprise selections, shall we say. I think probably most notably the non-inclusion of Cole Palmer and Phil Foden from the midfield. I personally am going to take the contrarian position, it would seem, in that I actually don't think it's too terrible. I don't think it's too terrible at all. I don't think either of those players had particularly great seasons. And I'm sick of the tradition that England have of just choosing names. Just choosing fucking names. We chose Lampard and Gerrard and played them every fucking game even though it didn't work. We chose David Beckham well past his fucking prime. We have gone with fucking the good old boys club for too long. And Thomas Tuchel, an unconventional, very un-English manager, both literally in the fact that he is German, but also in his sort of style of doing things, which is why he doesn't really vibe with the England fans, it would appear. And, of course, the xenophobia involved, but whatever. He's choosing, quite clearly, a group of players he can try and mould into an actual team. For the first time ever, England might have an actual team of 11 players who can play together. Which is what you need to have at a fucking tournament. The fact that people don't get this is driving me mental. Now, having said that, there are some selections that I think are fucking trash. The fact that Jordan Henderson has been selected is ridiculous. He did have a good season. I'll not deny that for Brentford. An excellent season in many respects. He's old as fuck. He's being chosen on past performances. Let's be honest. There are other players like either Phil Foden or Cole Palmer who would have been better. It wouldn't have been a like-for-like swap. You do have to have defensive-minded midfielders, but you do have Declan Rice in there. So I'm not sure you necessarily needed Jordan Henderson, who realistically isn't going to play that much. Ivan Toney, a good centre-forward in his own way, scored a lot of goals this season in Saudi Arabia. So those goals don't count. I also don't think a guy who scores 50 goals in the Isthmian fucking North Premier Division second 11s should be chosen for England, because not all goals matter the same, do they? Very silly. You can also argue that Nandu Madueke has not had a particularly great season, but I don't mind the selection. I think he's a good player. And if he fits into the kind of football that Tuchel wants to play, again, fine. He's trying to mould a team of players. No problem with all of this. Now, fine. But we do want to focus on one particular name on the list. Not because of anything they have or indeed have not done, because it's got nothing to do with them particularly. But the name in question is the second of the defenders, Marc Guéhi. That is how that's pronounced. Spelled G-U-E-H-I with an accent over the E, which is very weird. But we'll get to it. Anyway, Marc Guéhi. A fine central defender in his own right. Has been selected, unsurprisingly.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Well, that's the same. Look. Gennaro, as a player himself, would understand, I'm sure. Sometimes you will have good and bad performances, but you don't need to be so robust in your language, friend. Marc Guéhi, sometimes good, sometimes shit, as you just heard Gennaro Gattuso definitely say. Formerly of Chelsea and Crystal Palace, and now of Manchester City. I don't think anyone realistically who knows about football thinks that he shouldn't be in the team on merit. Okay? Except, of course, Lucy White. Who is Lucy White?
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Well, no, Gennaro, you're wrong there, because Lucy White's always shit. Anyway, Marc Guéhi is not necessarily an unproblematic individual. He's a little bit of a homophobe, it would appear. So there's that. But we'll put that to one side for just a second, because that's not even the issue at play here. Lucy White, right. Ironically, Lucy White, yeah, writes, Harry Maguire, so that would be the person on the left of this image, has been demographically replaced in the England World Cup team by an African named Aji Kaninkin Mark Israel Guéhi, born in Ivory Coast. Now, technically it should be called Côte d'Ivoire, but whatever, you know. What is the point of a national football team if someone who is not from that nation can join? Maguire should play for England. Guéhi should play for Ivory Coast. Common sense. I'm sure Maguire isn't allowed to contest this decision because, as the shirt says in his photo below, no room for racism. There are several things to pick apart here. Firstly, Harry Maguire, who is English and Northern Irish. Okay. Calm down there, you orange bitch. Who the fuck is Lucy White? Oh, Lucy White is a Restore. Not even a Reform Party member. A Restore Party member. And a Cambridge graduate. Which just goes to show you, just because you've had an expensive education doesn't make you an intelligent person. Right. She says he's been demographically replaced. Has he? Because if we go back to the list of players, there are lots of white players there. Dean Henderson, Jordan Pickford, Dan Burn, John Stones, Elliot Anderson, Jordan Henderson, Declan Rice, Anthony Gordon, Harry Kane. Is that it? That is it. Yes. There are white players in that team. There are literally lots of white players in that team. The captain of that team and the leading scorer in the history of the nation, Harry Kane, is on that team. So there's no demographic replacement. There's plenty of white people there. There are some brown people too, because we're a nation of white people and brown people. As to the point about having to be born in the said nation, that's never been the exact rule, ever, in the history of football. There have been people born in all kinds of different places that have played for all kinds of different teams. And interestingly, if we were to go just by players that were born in England, England would probably have a better team, actually. Because Michael Olise, the French centre-forward, and the guy who was he voted 4th or 5th in the Ballon d'Or voting a couple of years ago, was born in London. So we'd have an amazing front line there. And we'd have Erling Haaland, probably the greatest scorer in modern Premier League history, who was born in Leeds but plays for Norway. So there's that, you know. But it's always been the case. I also note that Lucy isn't complaining about the fact that the manager of the England team is a German man, born in Germany, because he's white. I don't remember people like Lucy White complaining when the white boy, Owen Hargreaves, a Canadian by birth, played for England. I don't remember people complaining about Terry Butcher, a man born in, I think it was Singapore, if I remember correctly, playing for England for many, many years because he was white. This happens all the time. It always has. Be it white boys like not Declan Rice, white boys like Owen Hargreaves and Terry Butcher, or black lads like Mark Gahey or John Barnes or Raheem Sterling. I don't see anyone complaining about those white guys, though. It's almost as if this isn't about the nation that you're born in that's the problem. It's almost like, I don't know, there's something else at play, like, who's the better footballer? Because this is the thing. Mark Gahey is a significantly better centre-half at this stage in his career than Harry Maguire. And I don't think there's any football fan who would disagree with that. Genuinely, if there is, I'd love to hear your fucking argument on this, because it's mad. I wouldn't have minded if Harry Maguire had been involved in the squad, had been selected. Because even though he's been shit for Man United for several years, he's always been good for England, so I've got no problem with that. If he wanted to take him, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But even if you were to include Harry Maguire, you wouldn't be dropping Mark Gahey. You'd probably be dropping another white lad in Dan Burn, because he's probably the least good defender in all of that. And also, I notice she's not saying that Mark Gahey is replacing Trent Alexander-Arnold, another controversial player who was not picked the attacking wing-back for now Real Madrid, but previously of Liverpool. A man born and bred in England, who is of mixed race. A man of colour. Can we also say that Dan Burn, the white man, who probably... it's arguable as to whether he deserves to be in the squad on merit. Is he displacing the much more talented Trent Alexander-Arnold? No, not really, because again, Trent Alexander-Arnold is a not very good defensive, but very good attacking wing-back. Whereas Dan Burn is a centre-half, and he's like the ultimate caveman centre-half. He's just a defender. And no, Newcastle fans, I will not hear you listen to, oh, he's actually a better passer than you know. No, fuck off, he's a defender. Shut up. He's not a bad defender, but he's a defender. But anyway, the point being, Harry Maguire doesn't really deserve his place on merit. Okay? And the final point I want to make about this, just on the actual tweet before we get into the sort of the wider, my wider feels on the issue. You can tell this person isn't really interested in football at all and is just a racist. Because of the final stanza. I'm sure Maguire isn't even allowed to contest this decision. Because, and then a load of shit whinging about anti-racism slogans on shirts. No, he isn't allowed to contest that decision because there isn't like an independent panel he can go to. This isn't a fucking legal ruling, you daft bastard. The coach of the team gets to just decide. And that's it. There isn't an appeals process. What the fuck? What kind of entitled wank is that? You either get selected for the fucking team, or you don't. That's the end of it. No one gets to contest it, whether they're in the squad or not. The fuck are you talking about? You clearly have no idea what the fuck you're on about. You don't know about football in the slightest, so maybe shut the fuck up. You racist bint. Anyhow, this tweet, and the tweets in response to it, because some of them were very good, like saying, you're a piece of shit, what the fuck is wrong with you? And unfortunately, there were lots of quote tweets supporting it. And indeed, the tweet itself got like 11,000 likes. Very, very depressing. And I was genuinely moved, in a bad way, by all of this. Like, it genuinely dispirited me. And this is coming at a time when I'm sort of falling out of love with football anyway, because of the commercialism and the price of it all, and the fact that, like, the World Cup has been stolen from the people who created football. A working class person cannot afford to go to any of these games. It's ridiculous. So, like, I'm already in a kind of existential quandary about whether I should even fucking bother anymore. And then you see the return of this kind of racism. Because this isn't just like your common garden racist shit. This is going back to the bad old days. This is going back to the bad old days of the 70s and 80s. When the aforementioned John Barnes, a man who was born in Jamaica, but very proudly represented the England team very successfully and well for a number of years. Probably one of the most talented players of his generation. Superb. Superb talent. Anyway, albeit he is the archetype. When I think of a footballer who, let's say, piled on a few pounds after they retired, like, the guy looks like he swallowed a banger. Looks like someone inflated him with a fucking bike pump. But anyway, that's by the by. Superb footballer. Proudly played for England. There was a game where England played where they won 2-1. And the fans talked of it as if it were a 1-1 draw. Because John Barnes, a black man, had scored one of those goals. And they did not count that because they did not consider him to be English. This is a return to that level of racism. And not part of my table collapsing. Lovely. Yes. This is a return to the nasty racism of groups like the fucking National Front, we have seen a normalisation of this kind of racism, not just in football, but across the board. And that, again, I find phenomenally dispiriting. But the kind of... my overall sentiment, I think, about all of this is that I won't allow evil to win. That's the ultimate thing. Once I've given up trying to fight the fight, I might as well be dead. I might as well not be alive. As long as I have breath in my lungs, I intend to try and fight fascism, to fight evil, to fight this kind of scum like Lucy White that proliferate in modern Britain. They want you to be dispirited. They want you to see this and to not support whoever you were going to support anyway. And I don't care, like, I know I've got a lot of Welsh and Scottish fans who, like, want England to lose. And that's fine, no problem. I'm not a person who gets fucking offended or upset about that, because I'm not a little bitch, like, unfortunately, so many England fans are. Anyway, they want you to change the way you live your life because of their evil. And the old saying has never been more true than I think it is now. That the only thing necessary for evil to flourish is that good men do nothing. They want you to do nothing. In fact, they want you to, at least passively, if not actively, acquiesce to their evil. And I'm not going to fucking allow it. I don't want to sound too over the top about this, because you think, well, it's one tweet. But it's not. It's what this represents. I'm using this tweet as a jump-off point to talk about a much larger thing here, a much larger approach to life. But quite literally, these people would have to kill me to stop me. I, of course, hope they don't. I'm not fucking suicidal or anything. But the only way they would get me to give up is to put me in the ground. Because they'll never stop me with this kind of nonsense. It may dispirit me for a brief moment. It may upset me, annoy me, frustrate me, disgust me. And it does all of those things. And did indeed this morning when I read all of this. But it'll never beat me. And it shouldn't allow them to beat you either. Their victory is in you lying down. So we all stand up, yeah? And we all fight this. I don't care if you particularly support the England team. But just to know that it annoys cunts like this, if, like Mark Gahey, scored the winner in the World Cup final, should give you some comfort, I think. That would be a glorious moment. I wonder if they'd celebrate that victory, given how quote-unquote patriotic they are. I suspect not. Anyway, I've said my piece. Right. Moving on to another kind of racism story, I guess. Green Party. So, we've talked, of course, about Andy Burnham in the Makerfield by-election. We've talked about the Reform Party a little bit as well. We haven't really talked much about the Green Party other than should they stand down or not, which of course they shouldn't because fuck Andy Burnham. But, in terms of who they're standing, they did select the chap you see before you, called Chris Kennedy. And then he withdrew after 9 hours. Because the Times newspaper, the Murdoch gutter press, That's literally it. It's a Murdoch gutter press. It used to be called the paper of record. However highfalutin and silly a phrase that was, it was certainly seen in that fashion. It's now just a rag. And so, of course, in a deeply disappointing move, the Green Party capitulated to the Times, putting forward some quote-unquote anti-Semitic tweets that this person had put out. And the party, it would appear, let it be known that they would withdraw their support, and so the person just withdrew themselves from the race. This comes off the heels of the fact that the previous person who was thought to be the favourite to be the Green Party candidate had also withdrawn from the race to be even selected as the candidate, because the same newspaper had put forward tweets that were quote-unquote anti-Semitic. And so they stepped aside. And this person came in, and then they stepped aside. So we now have a domino effect of Green Party candidates being brought down, not because the local party didn't want to select them, but because a right-wing rag had brought up tweets where they were criticising Israel, and so the party capitulated twice in one by-election. The thing I feared was going to happen looks like it is going to happen. I warned Zach Polanski, not that he watches this show, of course, but, you know, still. I put it out there that the Green Party needs to stop apologising. It needs to stop doing the very thing that led to the downfall of Corbyn. Because, of course, we know what anti-Semitism means to these people. It doesn't mean actual anti-Semitism, because, of course, if that were true, they'd despise the State of Israel, which is one of the most anti-Semitic organisations that's ever existed. They don't care about anti-Semitism. In fact, they quite like anti-Semitism. It gives them ammunition with which to beat other people, because you can compare people you don't like to the Nazis, for instance, you know, that sort of thing. But the Green Party seem to be making the very same mistakes, playing the same game that Corbyn did, of trying to placate people who are not interested in being placated. Because the Green Party needs to learn a thing. Whether it wants to pass a motion saying anti-Zionism, that Zionism is racism, or not, every single person who is going to want to stand for the Green Party is anti-Zionist. Pretty much, to a person. Every single one of them. So there are going to be tweets that the Zionist freaks at places like the fucking Times are going to be able to bring out, where the person has criticised Israel. And if you're just going to capitulate every time, as you did twice in one selection round, for fuck's sake, get a backbone, you won't be able to run any candidates anywhere, ever. Either you're going to have to do the hard part, and this is the point I want to make to the kind of Green Party leadership. You have earned a lot of political capital and earned a lot of votes from people on the basis of being one of the few parties to have stood up for the Palestinian people during its current travails, the current genocide that the Israeli government is inflicting upon them. It's now time to actually put up. You've done the nice bit of saying nice words and garnered a lot of support and membership and thus money from that. You now have to actually back that shit up. Because if you don't, you'll find yourself withering away into irrelevance like all the other mainstream fucking parties. You can't just talk a talk. You have to actually walk a walk. If you're just going to keep withdrawing support from candidates who have things that might not be absolutely acceptable to the Zionists, then you won't be able to stand anyone, because the Zionists want you not just to have a squeaky clean thing, they want you to completely change your opinion. Anything that it is even vaguely critical of Israel is something they will always call anti-Semitism and always call upon you to apologise for and to make someone stand down for. So do you have any fucking backbone to you at all? Because if not, you can fuck off as well then. Like, you can, if you're not going to actually stand on that principle of supporting the Palestinian people when it becomes ever so slightly difficult for you to do so, then what fucking good are you? Stop apologising to people who hate you. They're not asking for an apology because they want an apology in order for you to better yourself. They're asking for an apology so they can prove that you were wrong and use it as a further stick with which to beat you. This is not good faith politics on their part, so don't treat it as such. Stop apologising, stop withdrawing support for candidates, and actually show some fucking leadership. Or you can fuck off. Now's the time to put up or shut up. Now, everybody, I put up a post on the Discord, which you can all go and follow, by the way. Go and check out my Discord. It's fucking awesome, filled with awesome people being awesome. And I said, oh, it's too hard, I can't be bothered, suggest stuff to do, right? Wherever it is, there we go. And someone posted a fucking gif of a rhino shitting, naturally. Thank you, everybody. And of course, 255, crazy bastard that he is, chimes in with Metatron shit. Now, I didn't know about this controversy, so I did have to look it up, right? It's to do with a new film by Christopher Nolan, the famous movie producer, director, chap. Written as a part of the story of is it the Odyssey or the Iliad? The Odyssey, that one. One of them. I don't fucking care. The point being, it is a mythological story. It did not happen. Helen of Troy was not a person. That's the thing to bear in mind in all of this, okay? So, Lupita Nyong'o rejects criticism of Helen of Troy role because, of course, this stunning black woman has been cast in the role of Helen of Troy. Again, fictional character that did not actually exist. And naturally, given that this is one of the sacred cows of Western civilization, albeit written by the Greeks, so, you know, would have seen the white people of Northern Europe as you know, backward savages. But let's not go into it. We're all whites now, yeah. Anyway, so casting one of the great white heroines, as has always been depicted, again, not real, didn't exist, as a black person is naturally going to cause controversy because the right wing are freaks, literally freaks, disgusting freaks. They love it. They're just racist freaks. I don't know what else to say. Actress Lupita Nyong'o has told people that who have criticised her casting as Helen of Troy in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey to remember that this is a mythological story. See, that should end it. That's the end of the conversation as far as I'm concerned. That's it. It was a mythological story, so you know what? You can make anything. Fuck it, make Helen of Troy half human, half werewolf. Actually, a werewolf is already half human. You know what I mean? Half wolf. Make them a robot. Make them an alien. It doesn't matter. It's mythological. It isn't real. If you want to read the Odyssey, you still can. This hasn't changed anything. What they are doing is making a reinterpretation of a mythological story. So make them whatever you want them to be. If you don't want Helen of Troy to be black, make your own fucking film then. The Oscar winner will play Helen, whose beauty famously launched 1,000 ships and resulted in the Trojan War, according to Homer's ancient Greek legend. That's not Homer Simpson. That's a different Homer. But her casting has now sparked a culture war too, with critics including noted Nazi Elon Musk, claiming it was wrong to cast a black actress as the character in Nolan's hotly anticipated movie. Musk wrote that Nolan was grossly insulting the Greek people and replied true to a meme of a man supposedly dancing on Homer's grave. Yeah, good. Fuck it. Dance on Homer's grave. Who cares? He's been dead for 100 million squillion gazillion years. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? I agree that she, Nyong'o, is beautiful, but casting a black woman to play a white woman in a foundational work of European literature is no more right than casting a white man to play Shaka Zulu. Okay. Mr. Musk, I know you're a fucking idiot, but surely even you can see the problem with that particular comparison. Shaka Zulu was a real person that actually existed and was a black man. So to cast him as a white man would be a bit weird. I mean, ultimately, I sort of don't give a fuck who casts who as what, particularly. Especially if you label it as fiction. Right? Which this film is. Obviously, it's called the fucking Odyssey. But ultimately, if you're going to make a historical film, then Shaka Zulu is a black man. Whereas, when you say a white woman in a foundational work of European literature, she's not white. She's not a woman. She's a fictional character. And she was Greek. Or Trojan, whatever. Which means she would have been certainly browner than you like. Let's put it that way. I thought this was about who was best. I thought this was about who was best for the role. It's interesting, that, isn't it? Anyway, so fascist whingers like Elon Musk and fascist whingers like Metatron. This man is so obsessed with this story, he has made 3 videos about it in 4 days. The culture war grift is strong.
We got a clip from Asmongold, guys. You know I need to get a little bit of daily Asmongold, am I right? 3 minutes and 16. Let's see what he's on about.
Oh, he made it worse by choosing an even worse person. So slop is this that he's getting the ultimate slop tuber to give the opinions for him. Cool.
There's one more Odyssey thing, okay?
Yeah.
If you think Helen of Troy cannot be black, you don't know history.
Okay, I'm taking that one personally. It represents each and every single one of us.
Here we go.
Just for context, this is the lead up to the clip that's going viral.
Apparently conservatives are freaking out over Christopher Nolan's casting.
It's not just conservatives, you clown. It's not just conservatives. It's any...
It's fascists, it's ethno-nationalists, it's sad fucking basement virgins. Come on now. Come on now. There's loads of different people. They're all pathetic and right-wing as fuck, but it isn't just conservatives. That is true. That is true.
One with a brain who loves history. I know you have a problem.
Okay, but this isn't historical, is it? This is mythology. It is fiction. It came out of a man's head.
problem with people that love history because, in your perspective, when people say, I don't know, Helen of Troy, maybe Sydney Sweeney would have been better. Oh, white supremacist! Immediately. We get it, because you're an idiot. But
okay, but like Helen of Troy, if they were a real person, would not have been as white as Sydney Sweeney. She lived in the Mediterranean, my dude. Like, even if we're to treat this person as a real person, the place that they were from would mean that they are not milky white. They would be certainly huskier than white supremacists would be happy with. Troy was in what we would now call Turkey. Anatolia, yeah. Yeah. On the Anatolian coast, I believe. Or near the coast. I don't think it's on the coast, but whatever, yeah.
But no, it's not just conservative. Chat, any of you who isn't a conservative and would have wanted historically accurate armor, okay, in Nolan's show, let me know. You'll be...
Who gives a fuck about... Like, you're such a sad bastard. Who cares about historically accurate fucking armor? It's a mythological story. Who gives a fuck about the armor? It's storytelling. Allow them to tell a story and criticize it from that perspective. Like, it... Like, I also imagine it wasn't told in poetry form. Is what I'm thinking. But, don't let that get in the way. You used to like Metatron. Oh, Sully, that's embarrassing. Oh, no. Oh, that's tragic. Can we all... Like, I know you're better now, but I feel like just for history's sake, can we boo Sully? Just for a moment. Like, I don't want you to be rude to them in future, but just for the time being, boo Sully. We need to have social repercussions. People need to fucking learn! Does that count as brigading? Did I just technically break terms of service? Probably. Probably. So did I, sort of. Boo 255! Boo 255 immediately.
Featured on screen. Any liberal fan who can please join in here, because this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. In the meantime,
it's funny that you think you have liberal fans. That's fun.
For the upcoming epic, The Odyssey. None of these choices are actually, we don't know who's been cast. It's not finalized.
Nolan literally confirmed the Helen of Troy casting 3 days before this in his Times Magazine interview.
But they are flipping out.
If you are a student of history, you know that scholars have debated for decades the extent to which Greek
Define scholars. Define scholars. Ah, goodness gracious, guys. Memnon. I've got, guys, we've got a social democrat. And I hate this stuff. Look at this. I told you. I'm a social democrat and I hate this stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure that's definitely true.
Bravo, appreciate. Thank you, bravo, appreciate. I don't know, she's an idiot. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. On Rumble, let's go. But please.
So this is just two stupid bitches going, exactly.
Please tell me why we don't know anything. We, the people, including the entirety of Greece. Why don't we know anything? Let's go.
For
the entirety... You think the entirety of Greece gives a fuck about this? You think the entirety of Greece, all of the millions of Greek people, give a fuck about this? Yeah, sure thing, dude. Cool.
Decades, the extent to which Greek mythology and civilization were influenced by ancient Egypt and North Africa.
The most simple
Google
search would instantly...
Oh, come on. Yes, editor to Asmongold, you're right. The most simple research does show what you say. Absolutely. But here we do a very deep research, and I thank my team for it more than me. I put myself some time, but my team is my team. Confirm. She's full of shit.
Show you these direct...
Well, no. I mean, the point she made was that Greek mythology was influenced by African... Egyptian... Well, Egyptian is African, whatever. Society and culture. Which is true. The Mediterranean is basically a big fuck off lake that people have been crossing back and forth for millennia. Like it's fine. Yeah, there was some brown people around, man. That's cool. Like, you're literally from Italy. Do you think the Sicilians were always like considered white? Like, for a start off, Greeks used to live there. Lots of Greeks. Like, when you say white, what does that mean exactly? Like, this is the problem you always get into with this ethno-nationalist shit. How white is white exactly? And I especially love the fact that white people are referred to as Caucasians, even though the people of the Caucasus wouldn't really be considered white by most people who have fair-skinned Europeans. Just saying.
Direct quotes from Homer, describing Helen as white-armed and fair-haired. Homer literally names her ethnicity, calling her Achaean, the Bronze Age Greeks of mainland Greece, a southern European population with zero sub-Saharan ancestry. Homer also describes sub-Saharan Africans as a separate, distant people, the Ethiopians, the furthest of men. And this is the earliest survivor.
Okay, I don't care. Like, it's still mythological. Okay, Homer might have thought of her as the pastiest bitch ever. I don't care. It's still a mythological story. Helen of Troy was not real. This person did not exist. So why do I care? Why do I give a fuck? I bet Metabut jerks himself raw to 300. Well, 300 with the act. Well, obviously the story of the Battle of Thermopylae was real to some extent. The battle did definitely take place. We know all of that. But the actual story, 300, was written by Frank Miller, wasn't it? Who is kind of fashy. A bit. You know. It's actually not a terrible film in some respects. Visually, it's fantastic, but it is sort of fascist wank bait, definitely.
Surviving colour depiction,
which means bird face,
of Helen of Troy in human history.
It is very clear that Andromeda...
And they clap like little seals. Exactly. Not the Navy seals. They clap like seals. Oh, she said something. I need to demonstrate that I belong to the cult. Look at me.
Motherfucker, you've just been asking your chat to like, oh, back me up, guys. Have I got a liberal cock in chat who can tell me that I'm right about everything? What the fuck? Like, chill out. Yeah, there are some people who agree with each other, who clapped a point.
If it's going to be
What is this?
uploaded and presented as a debate, which it probably will be, then that is without our consent. We do not consent to that happening. So that is what it is.
What is this?
Jeff is on the line.
Oh, okay. Oh, so did they actually debate then? Is it a serious debate or like not? 255. This thing, by the way, I should probably put it on screen. Noah Sampson did a getting sued Saturday. I don't know what the fuck that means. And then they debated apparently. We might take a look at this afterwards. Whatever.
It's all about look at me, by the way. Whenever I need to hear it again, I need to hear the clapping. I need to hear the clapping because this is like being in a zoo.
Homer also describes sub-Saharan Africans as a separate, distant people.
It is very clear.
Oh gosh, that I hate virtual signaling. You have no idea. The heck are you clapping at?
Also, yeah, okay. Firstly, Homer might have described Ethiopians that way, but firstly, Ethiopia isn't all of Africa. Just note that down. And secondly, I don't really care what Homer said. Particularly, did Homer know everything? Is Homer God? Did he know all of the things of Africa? I suspect not. I suspect he was a pretty flawed individual who maybe knew a few things, but not all of the things. I'm sorry if I don't take ethnological statistical data from Homer, the poet.
What are you clapping at? She's full of shit. You know what? I'm gonna take a section of this clip and I'm gonna make a full debunking video. How about that?
Cool. Yeah, you go for it, chap.
No, because this is my side of the world we're talking about here. This is the Mediterranean.
Is it? Because you moved to America, my dude. So I don't think it is your side of the world anymore. You left.
Guys, editing Metatron here in the middle of the night. I'm having to re-listen to The View. Again, it's driving me insane. So, if you want to support my mental sanity, did you know that I produce rings, necklaces?
You are a fucking ring, mate. Absolute tat.
Homer himself never directly calls Andromeda an Ethiopian. That comes from later Greek and Roman sources. But either way, this only strengthens the argument, because Homer makes a direct, deliberate distinction between Ethiopians and Achaeans, and he places Helen firmly on the Achaean side.
I don't care. I don't care. She wasn't real, mate. So I don't give a fuck. Jog on.
And just so it's clear, when the ancients say Ethiopian, it does not mean people from Ethiopia. In fact, it doesn't even mean people from the kingdom of Kush. It means people with black phenotypic traits. It means the entirety.
It means all of them, I'm sure it does, yes. I'm sure that's a perfectly apt description. Yeah, cool.
All of them, so we're clear.
This idea
Yeah, cool. I don't care.
was also explored in a book called Black Athena.
I knew, guys, I said it. I said Asmongold. I said it. My previous video, Asmongold, I prophesized this. I said they're gonna base it on Black Athena. Now, I mentioned it also because I was thinking if they did the casting of Helen of Troy and turned it into Helen of Congo, then probably they're gonna do Athena of Zimbabwe.
Helen of Congo. Cool. Cool.
I was wrong, okay? They did not do Athena black, but I knew they were not going to have Athena white or Mediterranean, however you want to call it. Greek, absolutely not. Because there is, I said, because of the nonsensical trash book, Black Athena. It is a book, yes, Black Athena, and it's not just about Athena. It's not just about Athena. There is this whole fringe theory when it comes to the Afrocentrists that I have clashed with for years, and I'm proud of it. I'm the line of defense, because somehow a lot of other history channels...
Yeah, you're the line of defense against the blacks. Yeah, go on.
They're scared of being called racist. That's why, even though they're all about truth. But now when it comes to the nonsense that the Afrocentrists push, oh, then no, I'm scared. At least with me, you get debunking on every side. I'll debunk everything.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
It's nonsense. I'm debunking it. I've got videos of Nordicistic claims on the Romans, saying the Romans were all Nordic. Nonsense. But then, and I've debunked that. But the Afrocentrists, I'm like the only one who takes them on. Whatever.
You're very brave. Well done. Do you want a balloon? A smiley face sticker?
Real situation here is that I said it, I knew it, because it's not just Black Athena in the sense that they think that Athena is black. It means that they think that Greece itself was black, the cities were black, the culture was black.
You're very boring, mate. This is tedious. All I'll say, right, we're going to move on to the next thing, because I can't be bothered. This is actually boring the arse off me. All I'll say is, cast all ancient peoples as black. Cast them all as black. Just to annoy this cunt. I saw everyone. Every single person. You know what? Do a film about Homer and make him black. Fuck it. At this point, fuck it. Every Mediterranean is black now. Every Hannibal Barker, black. Archimedes, black. Don't even get me started on Julius Caesar, blackest motherfucker in the world. Honestly. They called him the hip-hop Caesar. Didn't make sense at the time because recorded sound wasn't a thing yet, but, you know. Centuries later it makes sense, you know. Black and trans, exactly. Winston Churchill, he was so black. He was so black he used to smoke cigars whilst walking around the streets. Cast Giannis Antetokounmpo as Telemachus. Yeah, I'm for it. Yeah. And get Thanos involved. It's not like he's playing basketball anymore. Oh, or Thanasis, whatever the fuck it is. His brother. You know what I'm talking about. All of the popes were black. 100%. Yeah. Black and gay. Jesus was black as fuck. 100%. 100%. Anyway. I don't know what this is going to be, but we'll have a look. Yeah?
Hey
Jeff. Everyone, it's Jeff. So, anyway.
Hi, Jeff.
FD, you love to...
Wait 1 sec. You need to change your microphone.
Away. Okay, great idea.
Went straight to webcam mic.
1 second. My actual mic isn't showing up in the devices here.
I swear, FD, I didn't plan this.
They fixed.
It's my failure on not staying on code myself.
Zionists and Nazis. I don't even know how that came up, but that's why I'm here.
Wait, so say that one more time.
Look,
sorry.
He decided to call me a Nazi for being too anti-Zionist for his taste. So
I never said that.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking this was going to be like a good-natured, like, because it's is it charity? I suppose technically not, because he's not a charity, but like they're raising money for the lawsuit and all that shit. Which, by the way, the fucking Ethan Klein suing Noah Sampson because Ethan Klein is a cunt. Just saying. Anyway, and yeah, so I thought this was going to be good-natured, but apparently not. Apparently there have been Nazi accusations and such, which, you know, I don't know. We'll let it ride. We were doing slap, right?
No, I didn't.
Give me a break. Anyway, let's talk about the actual
wait. No. Did he
here.
say? Is that something you believe?
He said, oh, he uses Nazi dog whistles for not caring too much about Jewish feelings. The typical bullshit.
Did you use a Nazi dog whistle? Did you call BGR
You're talking about Nazi dog whistles. Do you understand
Answer the question
something?
You're evading. Did you use a Nazi dog whistle?
I'm going to explain
to malign a
something
black
to
man
you.
on
I'm going
Twitter.
to explain.
What did he? Hang on. What did he call him?
BGR,
you're talking about Nazi.
A Zog? What?
Did you use a Nazi dog whistle? Did you call BGR?
You're talking about Nazi.
I don't know what I can't, because he's been talked over. I can't hear what the fuck the Zog something or other. Okay.
Dog whistles. Do you understand
Answer the question.
something?
You're evading. Did you use a Nazi dog whistle?
I'm going to explain
malign a
something
black
to
man
you.
on
I'm going
Twitter.
to explain a black man. Who gives a fuck if he's black or not? Okay.
I
Here's
do.
what I'm going to
I give a
explain
fuck
to
if he's
you.
black or not. I think you
Have
should
you
do
ever
that.
heard? Have you heard of the Jewish?
You are
sect
avoiding a
Chabad?
direct
Chabad.
question.
I'm answering the question to you.
Okay. All right. Let me
with the
hear
needed context. Have you heard of the Jewish sect Chabad? Chabad, however you pronounce it in Hebrew. No fucking way.
No, I'm not very knowledgeable on this topic. No.
That's mad. Zog stands for Zionist Organized Government. No, I know Zog, but he called him a Zog something or other. So there was a suffix to Zog, and I couldn't hear what it was because he was being talked over. But yeah, no, I like FD Signifiers videos are really good actually. And you know what I'll say? I'll say this. I will say this. As much as Bad Empanada is a weird freak who is definitely... He called him a Zog slave. Yeah, that's pretty fucking racist, my man. Don't be... No. You can't... There's no way. You called a black dude a Zog slave. Yeah, that's... You know what you're doing there. You know exactly what the fuck you're doing there. That's some racist ass shit. Don't fucking give me this, like... I don't care if he's black. Come the fuck on. You know that shit's wrong. Don't be a prick. Oh, God, I was about to fucking compliment him as well. I'm still going to say it because it's still true, but it's really annoying because he's a fucking wanker. Anyway, Bad Empanada, if we ignore everything else about him for just a second, if you actually go and watch his like pre-produced videos that he does like video essays occasionally on his main YouTube channel, some of them are exceptional. I will absolutely say that. Here's one about the Argentine military junta government, and the history of that regime and the stealing of Argentine babies and shit, and them giving them to middle class families and all the rest of it. And as that was told through Argentine cinema through the decades, it is a brilliant piece of work. Look, it's a genuinely fantastic piece of work. Then when you add the other shit back in, right? He's a mental case. He's an absolute fucking loony. Like, there's something actually wrong with him. And I don't mean that just to insult him or anything, although I am sort of insulting him. I mean that quite literally, there is actually something broken inside this human being. He says and does the maddest shit. Like, you can't for a second, like, square the circle of the rational, thoughtful, intelligent, poetic creature you see in those pre-prepared video essays, and then the person who's on Twitter calling people Zog slave. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Or that thing, I think I've shown this before. I've shown this clip before, but it bears repeating. Because it shows how much of a loony bastard this fucker is, right? So, there's a guy called Socialism Done Left, who doesn't really, I don't think, produce content anymore, but they're a kind of leftist channel, whatever. And he and Bad Empanada got into Empanda, apparently. Empanada. Got into a bit of beef, and where is it? Here we go. By the way, Bugman is sort of a right-wing thing as well, but that's from back in the day, whatever.
Hello, how are you doing?
Hey, bud.
Yep. Hey, bud, how you doing?
We live?
Yep.
All right, I'd just like to announce that if anyone wants to see some hot bitches getting fucked in the pussy and ass, head over to Pornhub.com and xvideos.com.
So he's trying to get the stream taken down by just saying something a bit rude and then playing 2 seconds of a Beatles song. He's a fucking mentaloid.
I'll send them a DM when you would like to continue the debate. Just let me know. Smiley face. So apparently the thing that they were gonna do is this really dumb troll. I'm literally seconds away from doing this. The Suck Done Left. Tune into his stream now. Just a forewarning here, so that people can't say they weren't warned before it happens. If you do debate me, bro, I will come on your stream and play copyrighted music on full blast immediately. Hey, how you doing again?
Nah, you don't want to see hot girls?
Why are you really far from the microphone? Are you like loading up the porn?
No.
Do you think that playing like a few seconds of copyrighted music is gonna get the stream banned? Are you dumb? This is the dumbest troll that I've had in a really long time.
Yeah, so that's the level of the intellect we're dealing with here, people. Okay, that's the character he is. Just take that as it is, you know.
Religious Jewish group in the entire world. Of all the religious Jews, they are the biggest. In the United States, they are the biggest. The Chabad Messiah, his official doctrine said that non-Jews are essentially cattle. They are basically slaves. Okay?
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
I can read it to you if you want. I can get
No.
Just be a second.
I agree with you. I understand what you're saying. I'm taking you at your word.
Okay, so Chabad is also this massive Zionist organization, one of the worst Zionist organizations in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
So now we are living in this era right now, right, of Jewish supremacy. I know you don't think that, but entertain me for a second. Let's imagine
That's
that we are
not true
living.
as well, but go ahead.
I mean, you denied it, and that's the entire reason we're talking here.
No,
I
it's
respect
not.
you on that political point.
before asserting his positions, you should let him, just explain whether he thinks
okay,
that or
great.
not.
So what I was saying is, Is that
What a needlessly rude response to a perfectly reasonable interjection from the host. What the fuck, man? Like, this guy's definitely, like, heavy on the spectrum. Because I'm not, like, the social cues he's not picking up here are, like, fucking crazy. They're off the charts. Like, no one just piped up with, like, well, maybe he should state his own opinion. Yeah, whatever. And just moved. Okay, cool. No, that's normal. That's awesome.
we live in this time of
Also respecting the Slipknot merch going on here as well. Massive fan of the nut myself.
actual, like, real Jewish supremacy. Jewish supremacists are committing genocide against people who aren't Jews. Now you're pretending you believe in that. Oh my God. But anyway, so we have this situation, right, where Jewish supremacists are doing that. And one of the most important Jewish sects in the world, along with many other Jews outside of this Jewish sect, quite literally believe as a matter of official doctrine that non-Jews are slaves.
Oh no, I'm not saying it excuses him, not for a second. Yeah.
For Jews. That their role basically is to be slaves for Jews. They are basically like cattle.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think in this moment there might be more utility to perhaps not screaming Nazi whenever someone throws these sorts of terms back at these people who are literal Jewish supremacists?
Are you a Jewish
These are people who
supremacist?
literally think. These are people who literally think. No, I'm explaining this to you. So goy, as the way these people use it, is a slur. It's a slur. They use it against Palestinians as they kill them. Zog slave, goy slave. Who cares? Who gives?
What the fuck? Who? Yeah. What? Look. Look. Maybe I called him a flapjack. Maybe I called him a fucking laptop. Maybe I said his name was Richard. Who knows? What difference do different words mean in anything? It's exactly the same thing, regardless of any word I say. I called him a cocker spaniel. I called him a French left-footed traffic warden. Like, these words are all the same.
Gives a fuck?
I do. I think it's
Why?
weird
What's the
for
point?
left. So first off, let's clarify. Thank you for that filibuster. Did you or did you not call BGR or BRG? I'm not familiar. Did you or did you not call him a Zog slave on Twitter?
Absolutely, that term is fucking hilarious. Why shouldn't I?
So,
See, he's just a troll twat, man. That's the thing. He's just a troll twat. Don't use the R word, Kev. What? I didn't use the R word. Whoa, I didn't use the R word. What are you talking about? Oh, Richard. Oh, for fuck's sake. You had me worried there. I was like, did I say? I didn't say that. I haven't fucking used that word. I honestly, I don't think I've ever used that word. I could be wrong. Maybe as a kid I did, but like that was just never in the lexicon.
I don't think you should, because I don't think we should be operationalizing Nazi terminology to attack people we disagree with on the left. I think that's weird, unprincipled, and shitty. And I think that's why you have the reputation you have.
These are all just like, oh, I think it's weird, shitty. Dude, who gives a fuck, okay? We live in an age,
A lot
as
of
I
people,
said,
a
of
lot of people
pure
give a fuck. I give a
Jewish
fuck. You have,
supremacy.
listen, you can
Pure Jewish supremacy right now, okay? And you're splitting hairs because I threw out this
But
funny term
you're
at someone
calling
who
me-
supports Zionism.
You're calling me Jewish supremacy, but you're using their terminology the same way they would use it.
They wouldn't call someone a Zog slave.
What would they say?
Negatively. They want to hide that sort of thing. They want to hide this idea that.
So you're
you
going
know,
masked off as a Jewish supremacist.
This is amazing. This is way better than fucking the other thing.
You're calling people, as you say, Jewish supremacist slurs publicly to malign them. You're
Zog
using
slave
you
is
saying-
not a
wait, real
Jewish
quick.
supremacist slur.
Okay,
Who is
so-
the origin point of the Zog? What are you saying about it? That
BRG it's a guy BRG. He's
he
another-
called.
Also, repping Brazil there. Nice. I'm just going to put this out there. Brazil have no chance in the World Cup. I've said it.
called him a Zog.
He's a huge, he's a massive electorate. You know, he's
because that's,
all
I mean,
the
that's
latest
like
Zionist politicians.
It's, I don't think it's really established in American or Western media apparatus that Zog is anything other than the dog whistle that it is. It's, you know, Zionist
I don't think
occupied
anyone
government.
in the American media apparatus even knows what that means.
Well, it's like the.
I think they.
I think a lot of people.
Well, that's what kind of what the fuck are you talking? Of course they know what it fucking means. Literally, there's a fucking scene about we're taking down the Zog machine, and that film was made. That film had fucking Edward Norton in it. It was a big major Hollywood motion picture, not a very good picture, but mind you, but a motion picture in like 1994. I think people in the American media establishment know what Zog means. Actually, yeah, it was Oscar nominated. It shouldn't have been. It was shit, but it was a major film. The point I'm making is it's a known phrase and has been for decades. Yeah. Seem like, I don't think anyone in the American media understands it. I think they do. Pretty sure they fucking do.
You guys both disagree with the framing that Zionists occupy the government, right? It's imperialism the other way around.
I mean, it depends. Are there Zionists in the government? Yes, that's Israel occupying the government.
But Israel doesn't control America.
Why are you worrying about this right now?
Well, because we're talking about the terminology of Zog.
Let me explain. I worry about it because I recognize that when you do shit like that, it's not in support of Palestinians. It's not even to attack Zionism or to attack Israel. It's to bring attention to your channel and your content, so that
that's just speculation over my motivations. It's worth. Doesn't matter. You don't know what I'm thinking inside. You don't know. You don't have any proof of this.
Yeah, I'm just giving you my speculation. I'm telling you why I care. You can tell me why that's incorrect, but like telling me that that's my speculation is just saying.
So maybe the question: do you think is that in service of a broader political goal, Bad Empanada, when you use language like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because the fact of the matter is, we live in a world that is Jewish exceptionalist, Jewish supremacist, and this framework, these sorts of frameworks, are what specifically led to the.
In a world of Jewish supremacists, I don't think that's true. Don't get me wrong, Israel is Jewish supremacist. That is true, and there are many Zionists around the world. But I don't think you can say the world is Jewish exceptionalist. That's bullshit.
Genocide in Gaza. People, like the left, has been basically philo-Semitic for decades upon decades upon decades. We have held up Jews as like a special magical group beyond any level of scrutiny, and there are still people.
What the fuck are you talking about? Who has been doing this? If you mean like the Democratic Party, okay, sure, but they're not the left. Is that Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk is dead. To be fair, Charlie Kirk is dead. I saw his neck done exploded.
People who have this sort of mentality, many people, who basically are doing PR for Jewish people at a time when Jewish people are more reactionary than they have ever been in history, and this reactionary.
What the fuck, man? Like, the thing is, you're doing the thing that right-wingers accuse leftists of conflating all Zionists with all Jews, or conflating Israel with all Jews. You're literally doing that right now. When you say, Jewish people have never been more like this, Jewish people do this, Jewish people do that, you're just doing the anti-Semitism, you prick. Like, one of the most famous political actors of Jewish origin in the world is Bernie Sanders. Another one is Zach Polanski. Now, don't get me wrong, you can also point to Jewish people like Benjamin Netanyahu and all the rest of it, but the idea that, like, Jewish people are reactionary is disgusting. There are loads of fucking based as fuck Jewish people. Yeah, this is some red-brown shit, yeah.
Tendency among them is being weaponized for genocide.
What you're doing. It's to attack black leftists online, right?
And that's just a completely... You're not even addressing...
Yeah, to be fair, that's not a great point from FD Signify. You can attack a black leftist online without it being Nazi. It's just, on this occasion, he is sort of a bit Nazi. But anyway.
what I'm saying. You're just responding
What you're
you
saying
said
is,
something mean to
what
a
you're
black
saying is
man.
not
Okay.
material to your behavior. I'm talking about your behavior, which is categorically shitty behavior, and you act shitty because it gives you views. The thumbnails
It doesn't
you
give
have,
me views.
No,
Here's
no, no.
what would give
no,
me
no,
views.
no.
Falling in line with
Thumbnails
people
you have
like
with my face on them. Let's pull up your channel now on Bad and Not Alive. The thumbnails
you try to reduce everything to drama. No, let me respond. You're trying to reduce everything to drama because
Then
what
why
actually
use the
happened
term?
here?
Because it's funny.
What actually happened here? First place, right? Your friend Lil Bill made a video, an indirect response to my video on Jewish supremacy. One of the videos I made just like
I don't know who that is, but okay.
Like a week before he made that. Okay, that's the first thing that happened. I responded to him on his points on Jewish supremacy in Israel. Okay, then in response to that, you, him, and 2 other people made a stream dedicated to basically indirectly refuting me for whatever reason, right? Then I responded to that. And you try to reduce this to drama. And what we're talking about here are very important political concepts.
I'm sorry.
Your response to me, as always, you just did it there. Like,
Right,
oh,
right,
look at
right.
your channel. You just talking about this because of drama. I'm talking about this because these are...
I'm just looking for
I'm not
clarification
finished.
right now.
I'm talking about this because these are important political issues that matter to me. I don't give a fuck if it's you talking about them or anyone else. You are specific, at least
It matters to
you are
you to
specifically
be able
the
to
sort of
use
people who shouldn't be spreading this sort of
slurs
bullshit.
and the Nazi dog whistles to malign your critics.
Slurs. Who gives a fuck if there's some
Most
slur or
people.
whatever?
Yeah, that's definitely a leftist position, isn't it? Who cares if they're slurs? Like, come on, my dude. Stop pretending to be on the left. You're not. You're just not. Who cares if they're slurs? Call them the N-word, then. Go on, Bad Empanada. Who cares if they're slurs, right? So just call FD Signify the N-word. Because who cares, right? Just slurs. Who cares? Go on, big dog. You're such a hard man. You don't care. No, of course you're fucking not. Because, like, you know that it's full of shit. What you did was mouth off on Twitter, and rather than being an adult and going, actually, I fucked that up. Shit. Maybe I should just, like, you know, apologise and sort of move on with my life. You've decided to double down and triple down and quadruple down because you're a freak. You're a childish little freak, boy. It's very sad and pathetic, actually, that a grown adult would act in this way. But you know, that's up to you.
Most
hurts Jewish feelings right
about
now.
using slurs. Most people who are affected by slurs.
So we're talking about.
To be fair, most people who aren't affected by the slurs are also like, yeah, maybe slurs are bad, actually. Doesn't always stop them from saying the slurs, unfortunately, but I think most people would accept that slurs, generally speaking, not a good idea. Not very cool.
Political issues here, and your response is basically, "Oh, you're not nice enough."
No,
you use
It's
terms
that
that
you're
hurt
not
people's
principled
feelings.
enough. Is that what you're doing is unprincipled?
This is not what principled.
and not
Principles.
useful.
Being principled means actually sticking to what you believe in, rather
No,
than
no. Being principled means to principally put forth the movement.
You're not
that
even
you're a
responding
part
to
of.
what I said.
I'm directly
let him
refuting what
talk,
you
let him
just
talk.
said.
What I
Let him
said
out, let him talk.
is I said we were talking about political issues, Jewish supremacy in Israel, right?
Okay, fine. Let's go back. Go back.
That's why there are videos with your face. That's why there are thumbnails with your face in them on my channel.
Yes, let's go back. So
you're trying to reduce that to being nothing but videos.
I'm not trying to
like
reduce
just for
it
the
at
sake of
all.
putting your face in the thumbnail,
I'm not
just
trying
for
to
the sake
reduce
of
it at
talking
all.
about you.
Well, no.
The
I'm
fact of the
saying
matter-
no.
No. What you're doing here is like accusing me of grifting. Okay, it's accusing me of like
Yeah, you are. That is undoubtedly true.
just chasing the views. If I wanted to chase the views, I would not be shitting on you. I'd be networking with you. I'd be networking with Hassan Piker. I'd be networking with people like you.
No,
that is how I would actually have way more subscribers, way more views. If you don't rock the boat, you get way more fucking views. Noah Samson does not criticize people on the left, even though I know for a fact he thinks way less of way many of them than he will ever say. It's because he does.
You're on his fucking channel, man. Like, what the fuck is... like, what a disrespectful little cunt, man. God, he's a fucking shitbag, isn't he? What a fucking prick. Oh.
Does not want to compromise his audience. Sorry, Noah, you know it's true.
No, I don't think so. I disagree.
I think it is.
Well, the reason I don't...
Like, he's now just started to pick on the fucking host, who isn't even in the debate.
Don't do that.
I know that you agree with me on tons of things that you will never say publicly. You will never make comments. It's fine.
Listen, no. Well,
real
actually,
quick,
I'll
real
let
quick.
Noah speak for himself.
The reason I don't do it is because I don't think the way the platform allows could bring any meaningful change other than big drama, big clash video.
I think it can massively.
What
bring
has though?
meaningful
Okay,
change.
so
In fact,
for you,
it can bring much
what
more
has
meaningful change
what
than
has
talking
brought
about the
positive
right-wing
change
endlessly.
in your eyes from what you do from other creators? Like, what can you visibly see as you say you've pushed the needle? How?
Absolutely. You see what's been happening with the first time ever that Hassan Piker is actually facing serious, like, left-wing backlash against his "I'm going to support Zionist electoral strategy." Guess who started that?
To do with you. That has everything to do with Hassan's behavior in the moment.
How do you know
I'm the one who's
it was
been
you?
pointing this out. The entire reason why anyone even.
Oh my god. The megalomaniacal fucking nonsense of it. I've made Hassan Piker not support Zionist politicians? Okay, dude. Yeah, cool. No, he definitely watches the Bad Empanada stream regularly.
Knows anything about Graham Plattner in this sphere is because of me, for example. I was talking about that from the very fucking beginning.
Yeah, I will give
all
you
the shit that people is spreading about that comes from fucking me. Now, I don't care about taking
And you
credit
say
from
I
this,
have
right?
a big ego.
No, this is
Yeah, look, motherfucker, you didn't do any of this. Journalists uncovered all of this. And then, look, you reported on it, sure. Like, you talked about that on your stream. But it was journalists who discovered all of that. Like, ain't fuck all to do with you.
This is just materially true. Like, I don't care about taking credit for this because I would still be
You
right
just did. You just did.
to talk about what I'm talking about, even if it didn't have an effect. I think it's naive to think that as a 100K subscriber
was
YouTuber,
what
you're going to have a
changed?
political event.
But the
You're
question
going to have
is,
a political
what
effect.
change have you contributed to as a body?
What change have you contributed, true though? None of us have contributed to much. It's you two. But you can at least try.
Right, but only one of
You
us,
should at
real
least
quick.
try. You should at least try to
Only
be as
one of us
correct
was
and
rationalizing saying Zog under the guise that this was principled and helpful.
What's wrong with saying Zog? It's fucking hilarious.
Well, I mean,
It's not hilarious. It's not
if you
hilarious.
see some,
immediately,
okay,
it
let me-
immediately turns people off
Here's what's-
to what you're trying to say because it's
What
understood
people?
as a slur.
No, most people don't even know what the fuck that means. I don't know. Like,
Well, if they
this is
learn that it's
mostly understood
Zionist,
by
if they
extremely,
learn that
like,
it's
internet people like
Zionist
you.
occupied government, then what that means is that it's the wrong
No,
imperialist.
that's not what most people would think. Most people, if
You
would
have no
intuitively
idea what
think
most
that the
people
U.S. government is
Bad Empanada, you're not.
Right, but you know that's not
most
true.
people
You know that's
in
not
the
true.
U.S. would intuitively think that the U.S. government is occupied by Zionists. Now, is that not true? Yeah, but do I think that right now it's really important for us
Do
to
you
harp
think?
on why that's not
but
true?
You
No.
understand though? Do you understand though?
This
that
is the
is a
Vosh N-word
genuine-
defense.
Right. This
That's
is
a good-
Boston Destiny, which, by the way, he did. I don't even want to get into the fact that you defended.
Okay, so let's
use
talk
of
about
Uncle Tom.
let's talk about the difference between those things, okay? Jews right now are in a position of massive social, political, and economic power.
Mhm.
That's something that you will deny. You will call it
No,
anti-Semitic,
I
but it's
wouldn't.
fucking
I
true.
wouldn't deny that. I wouldn't deny that.
Calling saying
Wait,
Zog
so
slave
real quick,
to
so you
someone,
attributed
like
the
saying Zog
position-
slave to
real
someone
quick.
when they are spreading. Let me finish. When saying
Okay.
Zog slave to someone or goy slave or whatever or good goy or whatever, for one, it's hilarious. Doesn't matter. The N word isn't hilarious. How is the N word funny? If you could
The
come with a
N-word is
good scenario
incredibly
for that,
funny.
I don't know.
But it's still harmful and hurtful.
Who is this harmful and hurtful to? When you call someone a goy slave, who is
Also,
that harmful?
anti-racism movements and the ability
to
to educate
Jewish
on
people?
those issues.
A
He's talking
Jewish
about the
person
N-word. He's
feels
talking about the
harm when
N-word.
you
Talking
call
about the
someone a
N-word.
goy slave. Like goy is like goy, zog. These aren't things that are like used against Jews. Like you're a zog, you're a goy. If anything, they call people
No.
goys negatively, despectively.
Okay. Right. Right.
Yeah, it's not the same thing, is it?
I'm not comparing Jewish oppression or whatever to black people oppression. I don't think that's a good comparison to make.
Well, what I'm saying here is we live in a moment, right? We live in a moment where Jewish supremacy is rampant.
So you
particularly
should
in regards to
use slurs.
Israel.
Is that so?
When
and that's-
Jewish
you know, it
supremacy
was
is
funny.
rampant,
No,
and there are
It was
people.
funny let me can I
Look, to me, it doesn't matter whether this thing is rampant or another thing is rampant. Like, saying slurs is bad. I don't know why that's controversial. I don't know why you would be contesting that point.
There are people. No, you let me finish, because there are people who are perpetuating frameworks that specifically help to perpetuate Jewish supremacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have someone like BRG, who, at least I used to think he was like a left-wing communist sort of guy, and then he really got caught up in this sort of.
Oh, is that a Black Revolutionary Guard? Is that who they're talking about? This guy. Hang on. Yeah, that guy. Oh, I've talked with him before. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Black Red Guard. Sorry, not Black Revolutionary Guard, you twat. There we go. Yeah. I've talked with this guy before. I think we got on from what I remember. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Oh, so he hang on. He called a Black Red Guard a Zog slave. You're a twat, Badim Panada. You're a fucking prick.
Say electoralism, and now he does a ton of anti-Semitism policing on behalf of the Democratic Party. You know, he will do anti-Semitism call-outs like, "Oh my God, you guys are being real fucking weird about Jewish people right now," whatever the fuck. At a time,
yeah, because you are being really weird about Jewish people, Bad Empanada. Yeah, that is just, yeah, you are. That is happening.
when Jews certainly do not need you to defend their honor. If anything, we need people to push back against this sort of notion that Jewish feelings are some sort of super important thing, that there's this massive Jewish oppression, basically the Jewish exceptionalism sort of thing, where people have this taken for granted notion that in spite of all material circumstances point to something very different, that Jews are this oppressed group.
Trump is, sorry, Persian wingman. Trump isn't beholden to Zionists. Trump is a Zionist. He's not beholden to them. He's actively a part of them. He's literally doing their war in Iran. He's a part of that. He isn't a victim of Zionism. He's a perpetrator of it.
Who need us to defend them all the fucking time, right? Because that is something that specifically enables Israel. That's something that has for a very long time been a problem that has specifically enabled Israel. People from the left have been
No, dickhead, you being anti-Semitic enables Israel. Because they can point to dickheads like you and go, see, the left is anti-Semitic. And make it seem like Jewish people are more oppressed on the basis that dickheads like you are also, being racist towards them. You know.
And, acting like PR for Jewish people, basically. And I think when someone is playing that sort of role, using this fucking humorous term, Zog slave, goy slave, whatever.
Call him a nigger.
This shit is why would I call him an N-word? He's not doing anything.
Why not? It's also funny.
One,
call
it's
him a
never
nigger.
okay to
call
call
me a
someone
nigger
an
in your
N-word.
videos, Bad Empanada.
Okay, I promise you there's no pre-watch. Because this was only streamed 6 hours ago, and I've been streaming for 2 hours. I ain't watched this. But he's doing the same point. Why not? Why not just do that? If slurs are fine, Bad Empanada, drop the N-bomb then. Go for it. Yeah.
They're funny. They'll get you views.
I'm not arguing that it's funny.
But you think stop. I'll let you talk for a second. Let me go. You think I'm a liberal Zionist. You think I run cover for Jewish supremacy. You think that it's more important to be funny and identify the flaws in your enemies unprincipled.
No, that's not what.
Call me a nigger with the hard ER. You defended
Can you let me?
What? Honestly, it's almost funnier watching Noah Sampson's face. Jesus Christ. When he said that, look, watch Noah Sampson's face when he says that.
Call me a nigger with the hard ER. You do.
I don't think he's entirely comfortable with that suggestion. Oh, fucking hell. Oh.
Can you let me respond? Like, I don't understand how you think this is like some sort of good response to what I'm saying, because the term goy slave is no, it's not. It doesn't make any sense what you're saying, because the term goy slave is of direct relation to what I'm talking about here.
My point
Jewish
is you're
supremacy,
defending
Jewish
your use of
exceptionalism.
slurs because they're funny, because they're hilarious, and because you get the right to do that.
No, that wasn't the brunt of what I was saying, and it's not a slur. How is that a slur?
You repeated it's hilarious. I'm sorry.
Who is okay? Question: Who is the term goy slave a slur against?
I'm sorry. I don't know enough to say that goy slave is a slur to any particular person, but I do know it's a Nazi term, popularized from the term.
It's just a Nazi term. Zionist is also
it's just a Nazi term. That's kind of a thing. But
also, there is obviously a context of calling a black person a slave. Like, come on now. Bad Empanada, you know exactly what you're doing there. Don't pretend that didn't fucking enter your brain, you little freak.
Whole point is, regardless of whether or not the term is a slur, you know and knew in the moment that it was highly offensive to say that to anyone.
To who?
Let alone,
to who? To who is it offensive and why?
To anyone, let alone a black man who is not Jewish.
How does being black change anything?
How does saying calling a black man a slave change?
A goy slave, whatever.
First off, Zog slave. This term Zog, again, from the Turner Diaries, the Nazi Bible.
I mean, Zog is like even
your
less
defense.
of a
Your defense has
less
been
of a racial slur, like calling someone a Zionist occupied government. That doesn't even make sense.
Your defense has been, who cares? That's hilarious. By that rationale,
that wasn't my defense. My defense was prefaced with something about how right now it's important that we challenge these sorts of idiotic frameworks.
Why can't you
challenge
like those frameworks without using clearly offensive, fundamentally unprincipled, and distracting language? Because if you think that allows you to do that
all the fucking time,
then call me the N-word right now on camera. If you do it all the time. If you don't think there's a difference, if you
who
don't
said I use the N-word all the time?
No.
All the time. I said I respond to these things in the way that you say I should all the time.
Why won't you call me a nigger right now?
Because how is that?
The face of a man who's like, oh, my channel is teetering right now. My channel is teetering on the brink of annihilation. This man is expecting a terms of service notification any second.
Relevant to what? Why would I call you that? What is this relevant to what we're saying at all?
Mr. Empanada.
I explained the difference.
No,
this term is of direct relation to his behavior.
Let me explain the difference.
In regards to him defending Jewish supremacy. Do you understand the difference? He is defending Jewish supremacy.
You could have
said
I
respond to him by saying like, "Oh, great fucking job! You're doing great work on behalf of the supposedly marginalized Jewish community."
You could have said in this tweet, BGR is defending Jewish supremacy by such and such and such. You could have done that. That wouldn't have went off in the fucking algorithm. So instead, you made a hilarious.
What do you mean in the algorithm?
But then why did you? It's funny to you. You could have avoided that language, and you chose not to because you're unprincipled. Because you care more about the attention.
Have you ever called anyone a dumbass? Have you ever called anyone an idiot? Have you ever used a mean word against anyone?
Those words are not intrinsically tied to Nazis or slavery.
Zog slave isn't intrinsically tied to Nazism either. It came like 40 years. Zog slave, I don't even think they ever used that term. They just use the term Zog.
It came from the
This came like 40 years after the actual Nazis.
It literally came from Nazis.
Second thing, why are you so obsessed with Nazis? Why are you always talking about the Nazis under the bed? There's always been much more talk.
Not me.
No, there's always been much more talk of Nazis in your content than Zionism. This is extremely easy. Like, you're not even dealing with the actual issue.
I'm not getting owned. I'm not getting owned. I'm not getting owned.
Oh, I might actually burst. I might actually rip at the seams.
She was never, and that's the thing.
You want to talk about the actual issue? The issue.
No. That's the thing.
Issue
you couldn't actually material critique things I was saying.
I materially critiqued you completely. I responded to you on Jewish supremacy.
You had to find, and it was so funny, and I regret it all. Despite the fact that I've been able to expose you in the moment, I regret it.
How have you exposed? Okay, let's talk
because
about.
I'm exposing the logic you operate with. Because your defense for your behavior is that you should be able to behave. This, and what's funny is that although I disagree with a lot of what Lil Bill said in that video,
you're just straight up fucking lying about what I'm saying. No, you shut the fuck up. You let me talk because you're lying. You're mischaracterizing.
I'm gonna mute him. Hold on. How do I mute?
What you do.
How do I mute?
You don't fucking.
Okay, he got muted. How will we know if he used the N-word now? He's been silenced from his hilarious slurs.
Muted. Go ahead.
I'm not muted.
The irony is that the inception of this was.
Let me.
He keeps muting and unmuting. Oh, I'm gonna fucking die.
Let me actually say my argument. Let me
give me your argument for the right to use.
You are ignoring the first part of what I said. You.
Oh, I'm sweating so bad. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh.
Ignored the first part of what I said to focus on how I said, first thing, it's funny. That's obviously a minor point, right? That's not the main thing. Okay? I said a bunch of stuff before that, didn't I? Did you respond to the stuff that I said before that, which was the main point?
I don't disagree with the stuff you said before that. That's my point.
If you don't disagree with that, then you clearly understand how it's fucking important to call this shit out right now.
That's the whole point, Mr. Empanada.
I'm sorry.
I don't have to use racially charged Nazi dog whistles in between that, and neither do you. You don't have to do that.
No,
more about attention than the politics you say that you're so principled on.
Madam Panada, do you see how it can cause people that might otherwise be sympathetic to your arguments, like FD, who said he agreed with the first part?
I genuinely don't care. I think this isn't really important compared to his defense of Jewish supremacy, his idea that doesn't even exist. I think he's using this as a deflection from the main point of why I was responding to him in the first place.
I don't think he believes that it doesn't exist. I don't think he said he does.
He does. Yes, I mean, I responded to him on this. He was defending Lil Bill's take, which was that Jewish supremacy practically doesn't exist.
Is that something you think, FD?
No.
So there can...
And then why did you go on a stream with 3 other people who all denied that?
So, can we...
Because that's what I was responding to,
It's funny because I tried to bring you to that a while ago.
And also, let's talk about let's after that we can talk about your video about how Ebenezer is a anti-Jewish dog whistle.
Okay, we talked about that.
We can talk about it again.
No, I mean
it's
Is that based on Ebenezer Scrooge, the character from Christmas Carol? The Dickens character. Have they taken Ebenezer as a Jewish slur now? Am I not up to date with my Nazi slang? Ah, okay. That's a shame.
So I mean, we can just go over that very briefly. Do you think it's ridiculous to be looking for secret anti-Semitism in Disney movies right now?
So as much as I would love to travel there, I want to make sure you understand that what started this line of thinking and conversation, apart from you, was watching individuals such as you use the excuse of desiring Palestinian liberation, of wanting to be anti-Israel, anti-Zionist, use that, which is gross as shit, as an excuse.
Tone policing. This is just generic tone policing.
It's tone policing. Sure. Call me a nigga.
It is. It's pointless.
I love Noah's face is so good. He's like, my channel's getting fucking nuked. There's only so many times he can say it. There's only so many times he can scream, call me the N-word. Fucking hell. That is funny. That is genuinely ridiculous.
I can't police your tone
like, you
right
don't
now.
deal with the material. This is my entire problem with you. You don't deal with anything that really matters.
There's a reason why you have not called me a nigger live in front of this audience right now. Is because
that's not even remotely the same.
It's because you understand the necessity.
But I will call you a goy slave.
Okay, sure.
Because you serve the interests of Jewish supremacy.
Understand the necessity.
Jewish supremacist genocide.
Okay, well, you're a Nazi slave then, I guess. Cool.
Understand the necessity of tone, and you know what you can and cannot get away with. And because
what I can and cannot get away with,
you
I want
do.
to change the tone. I want to move the needle. I want to change what is acceptable. You don't.
But if right now, if you want to move the needle, and
the needle you should move is the cat that you put in your fucking arm. Clearly, Jeff. Just saying, mate.
Right now, you know that something like that is going to be interpreted in the way FT has interpreted it. Then why use it when it's completely unnecessary? Is that a tactical move?
Here's a fact for you right now. A fact that you guys will never admit, but is actually true. Right now, in the USA, there are infinite. In the USA, I particularly mentioned just because it's you guys, not because it's the only thing that I care about. There are infinitely more people who are amenable to something like that than who will look at it and even understand it in the negative way that you guys do. There are infinitely more people right now in the USA who have this unprincipled, as you called it, idea that there is some sort of funny business going on with U.S. support of Israel. They don't understand, precisely why it is, but they see it. And when you see that, when you see all of this weird fucking shit, like how much your government protects Israel, kind of illogically, given how bad it obviously is, you're going to think, are we controlled by these guys? Now, it might be untrue, and in the very long term, which doesn't really matter because we're all going to die to climate change, it might be even be detrimental.
God, he's such a mentalist. Why fight for anything then? Because we're all going to die of climate change, so who cares? Why not just become a friend of Kim Ledbetter?
In this situation, if you're splitting hairs because someone said the word Zog, which is what this was like ContraPoint's argument, by the way. You remember her long statement. Half of that was a complaint that she saw people saying Zog on Twitter. Okay.
I didn't actually.
Then where are your priorities at? What are we even doing at this point if this is what we're complaining about? It's like complaining about an anti-German slur, which it isn't, to be clear, at the height of Nazism. It's like complaining that you saw someone call someone a kraut slave. It's totally nonsensical. It's idiotic. Like, what are we fucking doing?
Though. All you have, so we can go and we can talk about me having to learn more about Jewish supremacy and Jewish exceptionalism. We can talk about whether or not it's valuable. I would like to talk. I've let you speak pretty much unimpeded a second. Can I go, please?
No, you haven't.
He totally just did for like 5 minutes.
Okay, that time he did. Thank you so much, finally.
Thank you. So we can get to we could very easily get to other subjects and issues around this problem. There could be very good use for the perspective you bring to the table.
He keeps saying you can't unmute someone. So basically, as the moderator of this chat, he's made it so that Bad Empanada can't unmute him. So every time he presses it, the you can't unmute someone button comes up.
But you center yourself in your desire to be an edgy boy and make really funny jokes and refuse to acknowledge the standards, refusing to acknowledge just caring about your comrades, the people in the space with you, the greater audience watching, and the history of what it means to be called a slave as a black man, the history of where the term Zog comes from. You could easily just came on stream and said, you know what, probably shouldn't have said that. Real talk, that was probably a distraction. And then we could have been on to things that are way more meaningful. But you've dug your heels in for your right to use offensive language. You are Vosh. You are the new Vosh. It's so fucking funny how how
Your
full
politics
circle
are the
this
same
is.
as Vosh. Your
You
politics are
Vosh,
functionally
but
the
your
exact
tactics
same
are
as
the
Vosh.
same as Vosh, and that's even more pathetic. 'Cause,
Why is that more?
Spice, 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 spice.
Unlike
Okay,
Vosh,
okay, hold
like
on.
I
Why
said
is-
before, you're not as good looking.
For one,
you're
what you're
not as
saying isn't
charismatic.
true, but
and
let's
your
get to that
racism
point.
isn't as good,
Why
so
do
you
you
can't reach an audience.
Your racism isn't as good. Oh, this is delightful.
You're
Why
trying
do
to
you
use
think
his
that?
tactics, and you don't know how to defend them in the same.
Why do you think that your perception of rhetorical similarity is more important than
I don't
actual
think
politics
that.
being
I
the
don't
same?
think that.
Okay,
I
so
think
your
it's bare
politics are the same
minimum.
as Vosh.
No, I don't think that. I just think that it's bare minimum as an interlocutor who says their priority is Palestinian liberation. I think it's bare. I think not adhering to a bare minimum of not being an edgy.
No, to be fair, right, he says it's about Palestinian liberation. It clearly isn't. He's clearly just a troll on the internet. It's just that the Palestinian cause is the most defensible position. So he gets to, like, pretend to give a fuck about that whilst also just being a prick.
Edgelord asshole who uses language that offends and amplifies Nazis. The fact that you won't
Who does it
move
offend?
off that.
Who does
It
offend and how does
offended
it
me
amplify
to
Nazis?
see. It offended me to see you say to
I
a
don't
black
care if
man.
it offends you, just as I
I
wouldn't
know,
care if it
and that's
offended
kind of
some
my
random
point.
Zionist Jew.
You care more about being an edgy boy. You are Vosh.
Plenty of people.
you're
Your
Vosh
argument
without the
here is
taxes
I'm
vote.
offended. I'm offended.
I think the argument goes
You're Vosh without the taxes folder. Oh, short stack goblin maxing.
deeper into the actual practical utility of the way you act online, where more people would take you seriously if you didn't troll. And you know you like, I mean, you joke around, right? But you troll. You know that, right?
I think what's much more important.
More important
is
isn't
the
different than
politics.
also important.
What's much more important is the FD signifies politics are exactly the same as Vosh.
FD, is that true?
No.
Okay, where do you differ politically from Vosh? Like in your end goals, in your practice, like in what you think should be done right now, where do you differ?
I don't know enough about Vosh's politics to say exactly.
Okay, well, he
I didn't
thinks that
spend
we should
years.
vote for
I didn't
Democratic
spend
Party
years
entries.
watching Vosh's videos and reacting to him to ironically glean.
Didn't you make like a 4-hour-long video about Vosh?
No.
You made like a really long video called Breaking Bread about Vosh.
No, it was not about Vosh.
It was
not
mostly about Vosh.
It was
It was
about
mostly
bread
about
too.
Vosh.
Low
Most of
key,
it was about Vosh.
It was about shit like this. You don't even watch me.
The vast majority of them. Yeah, of course I don't. You make videos like about wrestling and like singers and
I
stuff.
make
I
pop
don't care
culture
about
videos.
that. Why would I
make
watch
pop
that?
culture video. I make pop culture videos. I am not an expert on the history of the conflict between Israel and Palestine and the genocide and the Nakba and all that. I'm not an expert on all that. I don't know a lot of things you know. You're a history guy, right? That's your master's in history.
I don't think you need to know about history to get the things that I'm saying and not shit on me for saying them constantly as you do.
Let me finish. I have a different background that lends itself to a different type of content. And you have a different background that lends itself to a different type of content. We both, I believe, have the same political goals. But I know enough to not just walk around being a shitty edgelord for the sake of my own masturbatory desire to be the edgiest boy on the online level.
True.
That's what it comes down to. I think most people, and I've heard people say this, most people respect the value of some of your essays and how they've gotten into these topics. But everybody thinks you're a gross weirdo. And it's not
that perfect summation. That last sentence.
Gotten into these topics. The value of some of your essays and how they've gotten into these topics. But everybody thinks you're a gross weirdo.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect summation of this man's online character. Good video essays, gross weirdo. Yep.
And it's not just because of how you behave, it's because of how you behave when you're critiqued on your behavior. And this is a perfect example. It's not even like I can't get you to just acknowledge, hey, maybe I shouldn't, like, if not just for the fact that this non-debate if not just with the fact that this conversation could have been about more material issues.
It can
but
be.
But
I've been trying to push them to that, but you're talking about how
under
an
the
insult hurt
context,
your
you've been trying to push
feelings.
them to that under the context of defending your use of the Zog.
Yeah, like, and that's,
Can you
that's
just-
the bottom line.
What's wrong with using the word Zog? Explain. You have not explained. You just said it's insulting. It's offensive. Oh my God, your hair is worse than mine. I'm so sorry, man.
What the fuck?
Well, I mean, you understand the failings of the interpretation of Israel controlling America, right? You don't agree with that.
It's not important. It doesn't matter if I understand that. It's seriously not important. In the same way that I understand that Nazism is bad, but Nazism is also not a serious present-day political
Imagine
current
if I was in front of you
compared to
in real life.
Zionism.
Look at you. Your lip is quivering. Like,
what's my limbus quivering mean? I have Tourette's. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you're like Ethan Klein. You're using Tourette's as a
but I'm not on drugs, so it's not as obvious.
Tourette's makes me say Zog.
Right, like.
No, that's not what I mean. Like,
I
it's not
know,
making me
I
say
know.
things
You
that I
have full
facial
capacity to not say these things. Like, you could have called me the N-word and said, "Oh, it's my Tourette's," and maybe you got away with that shit.
No, I never said I had Tourette's before until now. But
do you?
It's irrelevant. It doesn't really manifest in you know. It makes my face twitch every now and again. It's not that big of a deal.
Wait, do you actually have Tourette's?
Yes.
I don't think he does, but who cares?
But it's irrelevant.
You should
Doesn't
have
matter.
never stood in front of me, George. This was not the move you should have made. You
So
should have
I want
made-
to.
You should have
So
made
you went.
bad faith
You went
critiques.
off there.
You should have watched my Beyonce video.
What do you mean bad? How was me responding to you bad faith for one? Like my videos responding to you. Would you say the arguments that I made in response to you were bad faith? Like they
you
were
know-
not
You
legitimate
know what I'm gonna
responses
do?
to what
You know
you
what
were
I'm gonna
saying?
do? You know what I'm gonna do?
You
I'm
could
gonna
just respond
not
to what
in-
I said there.
I'm gonna continue to not respond to your bad faith nonsense.
So you can't just say what I'm
it's-
saying is
I
bad
can't.
faith as an
I can't.
excuse
What
to
you gonna do
ignore
about it?
Because I
George, you
responded
gonna make
to
a
you
video?
directly. I
Make the-
directly
make
responded
the FD
to your
signifier
arguments.
content nuke. Call me the N-word in it. Get your, you know, it probably
This is
gets
just
you
your
300,000.
excuse to avoid responding to me. Look, here's what you said, right?
No.
Here's what you
I'll
said in my
respond-
comments.
I'll respond on my platform, on my
So
terms.
you have me right here. I
I don't give a
responded
shit
to
about you though.
Because
I
you
brought
said that there are
I let him
secret
bring you in here
anti-Semitism,
because
dog whistles
I
in
let him
Disney.
bring you in here because deep down I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure this motherfucker's a paper tiger. I'm pretty sure that if he stands in front of somebody,
Yeah,
that's
you're
not
pretty sure that if
liberal-
you avoid actually talking about the issues, I'm here to talk about the fucking
But
issues.
but no, but
I'm
we
not here
agree
to
on it.
insult you.
We
I'm
agree
not here
on
to
it.
insult your content, even though I might do it as an aside.
Mhm.
I'm here to talk about the actual issues. But you're making it about like my motivations, about like, you know, like tone policing shit. But if you want to make it about that, why didn't I read off the comment that you left on my video where you
Okay, this could be quite good.
basically said that you were in it to like form parasocial relationships with your audience, and that
Basically said
according
that?
to you,
Basically
I'm not
said
as good at that.
Basically said that? Did I basically say that? What is the
Yeah,
term?
I'll read it off. I'll read it off. I'll read it off.
Hold on, actually, I
verbatim,
would like
okay?
to read it. Can I read it?
Here's what you said.
Please do.
YouTube
I wanna
rewards.
read it. I wanna read it.
YouTube rewards people who present a part of themselves to an audience. People don't watch me because I'm the smartest, most principled leftist. People don't watch my long videos about obscure rappers they've never heard of because they care that much about the topic. They watch me because they're invested in my perspective. They want to know what I'm thinking about almost anything. This is also why I don't talk about things I'm not super knowledgeable about in my content. They watch me because I'm entertaining. I'm an entertainer. So are you. We all are. I learned this from you before I even started seriously making videos. So, you see, my philosophy is the complete opposite of that. I don't want people to like
It's
me.
not
for me.
though, and that's the funny thing.
It
It's
is
not though.
I think I make videos that stand up on their own merits, and anyone should be able to watch them, irrespective of who I am as a person, and see the value in them. I'd like to think that you think that about your content as well, but after reading that, I'm not exactly so sure, because you seem to have been making an argument that people watch you just because they like you, rather than because they think you're actually making like good videos that stand up on their own.
Unlike you,
Well, no, Jesus Christ. So you're missing the point, I think, there of he was literally saying that people don't come back and watch the thing about the rapper they've never heard of because they want to hear about that thing. They hear they're invested in coming back to the channel because they want to know what he has to say about a thing, even if it's about a topic they don't know a lot about, because they'll probably learn some shit, and it's entertaining, and they like his style. They like the way he does like videos.
I have an accurate assessment of. Well, no, actually.
I have an accurate assessment of where we are.
I have an accurate assessment.
Let me rephrase that.
I have an
agree
Unlike you, I have an honest
Mine is the
assessment.
most accurate.
Unlike you, I have
I'm
honest
Spartacus.
assessment of the online left and my place in it. You like to mythologize that you're some type of truth teller, that you're some type of rebel or renegade figure within the online left, and that's why people don't like you and don't want to talk to you. But everybody,
It's absolutely true.
etc.
That's why people don't respond to my actual points like you don't.
It's because your actual points are not good, and I don't have to respond to your bad faith points.
Oh, so this is the thing, right? You're proving what I say about people like you who respond to me. I made like a 30-minute video responding to you when you claimed that there was secret anti-Semitism in Disney, right? I responded to your points. I showed evidence for my arguments against you. And your response to that is to just say, I don't have to respond to it. It's bad faith, whatever.
Yeah. If a Nazi makes a good point, I don't have to respond to him because he's a Nazi. You can respond in whatever way, or indeed not respond, because they're a Nazi. Fuck them. You can respond to the point in some other way, to some other person. But you don't have to give the Nazi the benefit of your time and the clout of responding to them, because that's what you want ultimately. You want FD Signifier to make a video on his channel about you, so that you get more traffic on your channel, because he's got like a big ass channel, right? And a lot of his viewers would be like, "Oh, who's this guy?" That's the problem. No, my camera hasn't frozen. I'm just not on camera tonight.
So you
because it's too hot and I've got my tits out. So, I mean, the boy tits, they're allowed on camera, but I'm not putting them on camera.
Literally making my point for me. You're harping on your idea that, like, I have bad optics or whatever, to avoid talking about my actual material points, the actual refutations of your arguments. You just did it right there.
Help me from the point I was trying to make. Where are we going? We were talking about the comment I left.
Yeah. And then you said that the reason why you don't respond to what I actually say to you on the issues is because
what's funny.
You just don't have to. Okay.
What's funny.
Well, then you don't care about the issues.
What's funny is that I linked an old video of yours.
Yeah, you linked an old video of yours where, what did I say in that video? That this shit isn't that important, right? That try as we might, we might not have as big of an effect as we think we do as internet creators, right?
So what should we do?
I agree with you completely on that. But that's the thing. You aren't just saying that. You were also saying that your strategy is to, like, basically build a parasocial connection with people. Right?
Let's go find the video.
Like you were.
Okay. I think we've all gone enough of this. It has been fun, but it is also quite late, and I want to go to bed. Actually, I want to have some food first, and then go to bed. Yes. Thank you, Plants. Thank you for not doing crimes against humanity. I mean, you don't need to thank me for that. It's something I've been successful at doing for now 39 years of consistent not doing crimes against humanity. It's a streak I'm very proud of, but you don't need to thank me, but I will accept your money. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's go to bed. Actually, I said that like that's a suggestion for all of us. You can go to your own bed. But there we go. What the fuck am I talking about? Right. On YouTube, who is ironically, Vosh is going on YouTube, but I shan't be sending you there. I'll send you to No Justice MTG, who's doing a thing. Enjoy. And on the Twitch machines, who is Guaning? is anyone doing politics stuff? I feel like I need to send you into a politics thing rather than just like someone playing a game or something. I think they're doing part. Okay, I'll send you over to JFK Rotting, who is good peeps. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow, possibly with a posh bird. I can't promise anything because I haven't organised it, so I don't know. But you know, we'll see. Thank you all for listening and watching. Stay beautiful. Free Palestine. No pass around.